Hello, Christian. This is Al Spath, and I'm just doing a test here at True Poker. I'm sitting in the big blind at the present time. I folded a 9-5, 10-8-7 flop with a 9 turn, but I'm not mad that I'm not in that hand. I'm sitting at a 25-cent, 50-cent table with $25 to sit down with for this test. I'm going to go once around the table and just try to describe what's going on and see if it works. If you can understand exactly what I am saying and can follow the dynamics at the table as I be your eyes and ears. So in this hand that I told you about with the 10-8 7-9 turn 7 river, we got a big $21 bet into a $27 pot, which is usually, and he left $19 behind in his hand. It's usually a strong bet. He gets one caller, and he had pocket nines for a full house. The bet size of 2/3 and 3/4 is usually an indication of somebody that has a good hand, in my opinion. The next hand I'm in the small blind with Jack 2 suited, which I'm going to fold to the big blind. Everybody else folded, and I don't need to mess around with a hand like that. Now I'm on the button, and I get a 3-8 offsuit, which is an automatic fold. Remember, when you get your cards, you can just determine right away whether or not they're a good starting hand and whether they're raisable hands or not. Mid-position player raises 3 times the big blind, which is appropriate at this level. So $1.50. If you were playing, let's say at 1 cent, 2 cent, I would do 4 or 5 times the big blind because it's really not a lot of money and people will spend it. You might as well charge them just to play it. But as you go up in limits, and I'm going to fold my 8-3 in this position on the button. It's a great position because it's the best position at the table. However, when your cards are lousy, it's an easy retreat. Now I'm 1 off of the button, which is called the cutoff seat. And I've got a 9-7 offsuit, which really isn't a playable hand. But if it was folded to me, I could make an attempt to steal the big blind and the small blind and get the button out. But if it was 9-7 suited, I'd have more of an opportunity or more likelihood of getting a better hand. So with the offsuit, I wouldn't, and it's been raised just in front of me for $1.50, which is no problem for me to fold my hand. And the big blind calls at a 3-9-2 rainbow. When I say rainbow, that's a club, a diamond, and a spade. It could be a heart and 2 other, but it's rainbow. It's 3 different suits. And the person that raised pre-flop, it was checked to him, and he continuation bet and took it right down. And now I'm in the hijack seat, which is 1 before the cutoff seat. So you got the button, then the cutoff, and then the hijack. The reason it's the hijack is because a lot of people, when they're first in from this position, will raise and try to steal the button, and so they're hijacking the last position. I have an 8-3 offsuit, which I'll easily throw away. We'll go to the cutoff seat, which is the one right before the button. He folds. Now normally a button will raise here 3 times the big blind. Let's see what happens. And he's got $246 in his stack, so he's been dominating at this table. There's an $87. So we got some people that have some money at this table, and nobody bet. I have an 8-7 suited in clubs. I'm in middle position. If I'm first in, I'm going to raise. I cannot call with this hand. I am first in. I'm going to raise it 3x to 150. Calling would be a mistake. Throwing it away, I have no problem if you throw it away from middle position. It's not the greatest hand. I haven't played any hands, so people have to believe that my VPIP, my voluntarily putting money into the pot rate, is very low. I get a call from the button. A 7 king ace comes off 2 diamonds. I do a continuation pot, 2/3 the pot bet to see if this person, he insta calls, and that means I insta shut it down. because he's got more than likely the ace, or he's got the diamond draw. He checked on the turn, he checked on the river, and I win with my 8-7. Unbelievable. So let's see if he had something like Queen Jack, Queen 10, or if he had two diamonds. I'm going to fold the next hand, which is a 10-2 offsuit. Let me go back and see the replay and see if I can just see the... I'm trying to look and see. I'm folding a Jack 8 on the board, and it's not showing me his cards. I don't know why it doesn't do that, but I have to just assume that I was pretty correct in what I thought he might have. I was lucky. If he'd have bet, I would have folded and he would have won the pot. So I'm now up to $28.46, which is a $3.46 capture overall. I got one more hand to go before it's once around the whole table, but this is just a demonstration of how I could call things out and tell you about bet sizes and what have you. Now, I've been covering a little bit more items than I normally would. If I was concentrating just on you, I'd be telling you, like, this guy just bet $2.50 into a $2.62 pot with an ace 10 4 jack board, two diamonds, two hearts, and gets a $2.50 call of 5 of clubs, which is no help on the river. Bets $5 into a $7.37 pot and takes it down. That's a good bet. And somebody sat out, so I guess I'm going to stay in. I got 10 jack. I'm in a big blind. I got 10 jack offsuit, both black, jack of spades, 10 of clubs. First guy under the gun, which is the worst position, folds. Everybody folds to the button. Raises a min raise to $1. I will call. I could re-raise. It's an ace deuce 6 flop, and I'm going to bet into him as if I hit something. I do not have anything, but if I check, he'll bet into me. I'm just trying to take it down by betting into him and proving that I've hit something here. He calls. I get a jack of clubs, and I'm going to fire one more salvo at him. So I got 3 clubs on the board with an ace, deuce, jack of clubs, and a 6 of hearts. And I fired again, and he folded. So I took it away from him by just being aggressive, which puts me up to $30.63 with a 4-6 in the small blind of hearts, suited hearts. Gus Avocados under the gun is the name of the gentleman. Everybody folds around to me, and this time I am going to raise the big blind. Last time I did not raise, so he knows I'm being selective, and he folds, and I take it away with my 4-6 of hearts. I have a 2 and a king offsuit on the button. Person to my right posted, just sat down, posted, and then he checked. Normally what that means when they check after they post, they have a really weak hand. If I had a hand here like a king jack or a king 10, I would have raised and just ignored his the posting of the 50 cent, because I would know he has a pretty weak hand. He didn't raise, but now it's him in the big blind, and big blind checked it to him. He bet and took it down. Queen 5 offsuit, and the cutoff seat for me is an easy fold. Fold, fold, fold. Excuse the thumb. It's an easy fold to me. It's all the way to the button. Nobody's entered the button up. 3 times the big blind. There it is. That's the standard bet to try to steal the blinds. I have 8-7 offsuit in the hijack seat, which is 2 off of the button, which I'm going to fold. We have a limper under the gun. Sometimes people limp under the gun in early position. That's what under the gun is right after the big blind, with hands that are like small, medium pairs. I folded 8-7 and 2 7s and a 5. Rainbow came off, a diamond, a heart, and a spade, and so the guy that limps wins the pot. Now I have a good hand with ace queen of clubs. I'm in third position, but we have it's an 9 player table. There's only 8 seated, so I am going to raise first in. Raised 4 times the big blind. Usually raise a little bit more in early position because I have so many people yet to act behind me. When in later position, I raise the normal 3. Now the small blind call for 250, and normally when a blind calls and they voluntarily put money in the pot, they generally have a decent hand. Well, he checked to me. I continuation bet 2/3 the pot. And he folded. The flop was a 10-6-8 rainbow, and now I get 6-2 offsuit. Even at a 9-10 player, the action is pretty fast for you to keep up. But this is a test just to see how you would do, Christian. So I hope this was, because it's around to you. I played twice around the table. I started with 25. I'm leaving with 34.11. So I made $9.11 in this short amount of time. It's 12 minutes of recording. My name is Al Spath. I'm the former dean of Poker School Online. And I'm dealing with a gentleman, a client from Sweden named Christian. Christian, let me know tomorrow how you receive this. Thank you.